The governor's executive order expands on some of the social distancing we've already been doing in Minnesota, but to be clear, it is not a total shutdown of daily life. First of all, the grocery stores are going to remain open. Other things that are staying open include pharmacies, banks, gas stations, hardware stores, the post office, and of course, hospitals, clinics, and other healthcare facilities. Restaurants are closed for dine-in through at least April, but you can still do takeout and delivery. That has not changed. Now, those are the basics. We've been still fielding a lot of questions all day about what the order means for you and your daily life. And a lot of you have asked about liquor stores. Yes, those are going to stay open. The state deemed them essential. Child care providers. Yes, the executive order makes an exemption for them, although some have already voluntarily closed, so you'll have to check your local provider. Realtors, that's another question we've been getting. Well, the real estate industry is listed in the exemptions, but most realtors in the area have been doing virtual showings instead of in-person visits. Car and bike mechanics, they're staying open, and dry cleaners are staying open as well. And of course, you've heard this one before, but it's not illegal just to be outside. You can still use trails like this one. You can still run and walk and use public parks just as long as you're staying 6 feet away. Danny Spiewak, KARE 11 News.